Hello, my name is Ian Andrew P. Brangan. I'm from Group 3, Spirit Dev. Karon kay akong i-discuss ang family o ang tulo ka generation sa family. First, unsa ng family? Ang family mo na pinaka-basic unit sa society. The development of an individual is affected and influenced is in one's family. So, ang kuan maka ang attitude ug ang personality sa tao kay derive jud na tungod sa family. For example, imo mama but-an so gipadako kag tarong mahimo mubut-an sa ka so nindot sa nga tao kay gipadako man kag og tarong. So next, ang first generation sa family, ang grandparents mo nang mama o papa, si mong mama o papa. So imo nang lolo. Sila anak si mama papa, sila padako si mong mama o papa. Next, second generation, ang imuhang mama, papa o ilahang mga igsuon. So man mo mga ante, o mga tito, mga uncle, o yung mama o papa, ano padako nimo. Padako ni mga. So next, third generation, ang ikatolo, mao na dyan na ikaw. Ikaw migsuon, mga bigo, basta anak si mong mama o papa mo ng third generation.
So these are the brief explanation for the types of family. The first one is core of society. Families are the heart of society and sharing love and life together. Example, a family gathering for a birthday celebration. Second, community of growth. Families teach us values and freedom from a young age. Example, parents teaching their children about honesty and respect. The third one, care for all. Family members should always support and care for each other, especially those who need it most. Example, taking care of an elderly grandparent. The fourth one, societal support. So society should help families thrive, recognizing their importance to everyone's well-being. Example, government programs that provides child care assistance. The last one, foundation of society. Strong families are crucial for a healthy society, and we should support them. Example of this, community initiatives that offer parenting classes and family counseling.
So next, we are going to talk about the duties of the children. So first is gratitude. Respect for parents comes from gratitude for the life, love, and support they provide. So children should always be thankful to their parents for giving them love, life, and support. Ang mga kanan na to, nag-sacrifice og mga atiman sa atong needs. Mao na nagpasalamat kita nga sa kapaagi nagpakita ta respeto para sa gugma nila. Next is obedience. Children should obey their parents and trusted mentors unless it goes against their conscience. So, children should be obey their parents and elders kay sila nag-guide ug naghatag maayong tabang. Pero kung ang sugo malapa sa imong konsensya, pwede ra imong mga ingon nga dili ka mo musugot ana kay para okay. Next is support. Grown children should provide material and moral support to their parents in times of needs. So when children should grow up, mag-support gid sila sa ilang parents both financially and emotionally, but unless it doesn't really need to, you need to support them unless imuhang ganahan ikay nag kuan ba imo ng choice nga mag-support ka sa imong family, dili ra kay pugson ka. Pero kung nag-grow up ka kuan loving family, it's either mo kuan mo support ka or mo kuan. Yes. Next is harmony. Respect fosters family within the respect foster harmony within the family, promoting love and support among siblings. So, respect helps create harmony within the family. Kung magtinabangay o tinahuray ang mga tanan, malipay imong pamilya o magpuyo ang mulay samok, magtinabangay gid mo in times of need kay sila rabi na nagkuan mo kung sila ba help sa nimo para ma-achieve na imong kuan. Lastly is autonomy. Children have the right to choose their path, maintaining trusting and relationship with their parents. So, children sa kita gyud kita gyud magkuan pili sa ato ang kuan life ato ang path in this life. Kayang bisag maglisod na ka, kita may nagkuan, so kita gimutuman ato ang kagalingon ana. Kita man nagdesisyon sa ato ang kagalingon. So ato ginang i-fulfill until the last.
A parent's duty. More than procreation, usual love should focus on the moral and spiritual development of the children. So, as a parent's duties, more than procreation means that the parents should focus and know what were the developments of the children, more like their actions, their speaking, and their physical appearance. Next is the right to educate. Parents have the primary right and duties to educate their children. So, parents should educate their children so that the children will have a formable attitude to respect others and to not being violent to other people, and that they should learn that there's always consequences of their action. So the parents have to educate their children so that they'll never have a conflicted in their life and their attitude. That's respectful guidance. Parents should respect their children as individuals, guiding them to follow moral principles. So, the parents should respect guidance. For example, a children wanted a space for themselves or being alone, they should respect it. As parents, they needed to focus on their children's feelings and their mental health. Leading by example. Parents should set a good example of love, forgiveness, and respect within the home. So the parents should teach their children how to respect others and know forgiveness, and that home is a safe place, that everyone should be safe and didn't have any argument or anything that conflicted in their relationship. Accountability. Parents must acknowledge their own shortcomings to better guidance their children. So, the parents should know that how they're going to guide their parents with their shortcomings. So, like for example, Parents should have enough money to educate their children to school, and that they should also guide their parents how guide their children how to learn more in school, and as a parent that should be buy items for them so that they will know the course of education. Next, protect from harm. Parents should teach their children to avoid harmful influences. So parents should teach their children how to not smoke and not go to the wrong path. As parents, they should protect their children from harm. Nurturing care. Parents should provide care and attention to their children's physical and spiritual needs. So, parents should know whenever their children is sick or mentally unstable. So, parents should care for their children whenever they have problems. Avoid pressure. Parents should avoid pressuring their children on career or marriage choices, offering advice instead. So parents should offer advice instead, because if they pressure their children on anything about career or marriage choices, the children will develop resentment to their parents for not having the freedom to choose whenever they want. So that is the duties of parents.
So, hi everyone. My name is Calvin Bitagarda and I am grade 12 HEI. So, first, I want to share about my explanation of family influence. Number 1, foundation of care. Families provide care and nurture from birth, influencing children positively or negatively. So, ang foundation daw kay the foundation of care refers to the basic principles like values or like actions nga mapakita nimo sa bata mo na, and ang structures that underpin and guide the delivery of health and social care services. It is groundwork of how care should be planned and provided and evaluated to ensure safety, quality, and compassion for all individuals receiving care. Number 2, role models. Parents became influential models through their action and behavior. So, kabalo naman mo nga ang role model kay mo na siya ang parents na mag-guide sa children of kanang sa iyang mga behavior or actions. So, the role model of family influence refers to the way family members, especially parents or caregivers, shape a person behaviors, attitudes, values, and development through example and interaction. Mo na ang kanina model kay mukha nila siya sa family members act as a role models, meaning ang meaning na kay their ilang actions, words, or ang habits mo na ang ma-observe and imitated by others, especially ang mga bata, mga children. So, number 3 excuse me. Number 3 is external influences, which is the family influences can be modified by school, friends, and peers. Mo na ang external influences. So, kabalaman mo nga ang external influences kanang connected na siya sa family kay while ang families plays a major role in a shaping person like values, behaviors, and development, they are also influenced by external factors outside the home. These external influences can strengthen, challenge, or shape how families function and what they teach their members. So, tagaan ta mo example na ng family member ay kanang ma-influence, which is ang parents styles or ang daily routines, and especially ang pinakakuan gid ang decision and opportunities makuha sa bata. So number 4, teenage dynamics. Teenagers value their social groups, but parents continue to shape their behavior. So ang teenage dynamics di ay kay mora gyapon connected gyapon siya sa family influence, kay pamaratong gitalk ang family influence. So ang teenage dynamics di refers to the change in behavior like emotion, communication, and relationships that happen during the teenagers years, like 13 to 19 during that time. The way family influence works also change because teenagers are developing independence and forming their own identity. So let's talk about number 5, guidance. Ang guidance kuno kay parents remain essential for comfort and guidance during major decision. So ang guidance dai kay mo na ang guidance in the context of family influence refers to support or advice and direction nga mas supervision ang family. So mo na ang need niya og support or advice sa members, especially parents or caregivers nga mo-provide to help individuals, particularly children and teenagers, grow, make good decisions and develop life skills. So number 6, positive relationships. Close parent-child relationships, good parenting, and shared values creating positive outcomes. So ang positive relationship daw sa kay ang within a family play or a powerful role in shaping a person development, behavior, or emotional health and social skills. Ang kani daw nga relationships are built on love, trust, or communication, support, and respect. Mao na ang 5 kabuok nga relationships nga mag-build sa ato ang family, like ang love, trust, communication, support, and respect. And they from the foundation of how people connect with the other outside the home, like that. Thank you.
Next, we're gonna talk about the family legacies. There are 3 types of family legacies.
5 types of social legacy. First is respect. Learn to respect yourself and others and how to interact well. Like example, listening when someone is talking. Second, responsibility. Taking ownership of your action, understanding consequences, and being allowed to learn from your mistake. Like example, saying sorry when you hurt someone's feeling and making it right. Third is unconditional love. Feeling loved and accepted by your parents even when they need to guide you or correct your behavior. Like example, when you make a mistake, they forgive you and help you learn from it. Fourth is social boundaries. Understanding how to relate to good people and authority, friends, your surrounding, and your siblings. Like example, when a person doesn't want to talk about it, you're gonna respect her decision. Last type of social legacy, loving rules. Having their guidelines are set within a caring and supportive relationship. Like example, speak kindly to each other. This encourages respect and love in communication.
So
my topic is emotional legacy. The first one is a safe space, providing a secure environment where deep emotional connections can flourish. So safe space for short is like kanang kanang safe imong palibot, like walay maka disturban, no disturbance while you're reading. And the second one is confidence. Confidence, building a strong sense of self-assurance through a stable upbringing. So confidence is like more on nga brand karon nga ako confidence ko nga mo report ko sa video. Nga din ko ganang nga makita ko now. Okay. Try na like that. Thing support. Feeling like you have reliable and supported people in your corner. So trusting support is more on like og unsa imong problema kung unsa suportahan ka og unsa imong problema sa imong friend, dili ra kanya i-share. So that is trusting support. Positive identity, nurturing a strong and positive sense of who you are. So kani kay sa example na usa ka student pili siya og strand nga iyang ganahan niya iyang pamilya, gikuan ra siya kanang murag gisuportaan ra siya kanang iya ipadayon kung unsa iyang strand nga gipili. So that is positive identity sa usa ka student. Inner peace. One is inner peace. Inner peace. Let me think. Imagine you're in the middle of a chaotic or stressful week. Like that nga you feel like doesn't direction, but you still go walk and feel sense of calm. Like bisag unsa kasapa, stay calm juga. Like that, stay calm. That is what inner peace, emotional legacy. Yeah. And the sixth one is, and the sixth part is unconditional love. Unconditional love. Example, like a child brings home a report card with a poor grade, like pati iyang grado a poor grade. Instead of reacting with anger or disappointment, so the parent says, I'm not happy about the grade. But I'll always be proud of you, like that. Sorry. I'm proud of you. So the mother said, let's figure it out, a plan together. Like unconditional love is more on like bisag unsa ka bati sa ipakita sa imong anak or sa the child or the student, instead of masuko, imuha na lang siyang ipahawa ang suko. Like, instead of reacting with anger, dili na lang ka masuko. Kaya kung masuko ka, relax yan. And that's all. Thank you. Hopard.
So, spiritual legacy. First, acknowledge spirituality. Help children understand that having a personal relationship with a higher power is important and they are loved and forgiven. When you talk about acknowledging spirituality, it means recognizing, honoring, and continuing the spiritual wisdom, values, and practices passed down from those who came before you. So, second one is view of higher power. See a higher power as a personal, caring being who wants to be loved and respected. The view of higher power in spiritual legacy refers how spiritual traditions, teachers, and lineage understand, use, and transmit power. Third, routine activities. Make spiritual activities part of life. Routine activities are the consistent practices, habits, and rituals that sustain, express, and pass on spiritual values or beliefs from one generation to the next. Fourth, clarify the truth. Understand what is right and wrong. Clarifying truth is to endure, understand, or realize that transcends personal opinion, culture, or time. It is the deep alignment what is real in the spiritual sense. And the last is incorporate principles. Apply spiritual principle to daily living. Means grounding your life, teaching, values, and influence on timeless truth that guide both personal growth and collective well-being.
Talk openly about preferential drug and alcohol. This means having direct conversation about the dangers of substance abuse and the social pressure they may face. Don't wait for them to act. Discuss how to handle situation where they are suffering drug or alcohol and help them practice. The good example of responsible relationship. Adolescents learn by watching you how you treat your partner, friend, and family shows them what a healthy, responsible relationship look like. Model good communication, conflict resolution, and mutual support in your own life. Honestly discuss love, peace, and relationship. Talk truthfully about poverty, sex, consent, and romantic feeling. This helps them make safe and informed decisions. Answering the question without embarrassment builds trust and ensures they accurate information from you instead of unreliable. Help them understand body and emotional change. Adolescence is a time of major physical and emotional change. It claims that these changes are a normal part of growing up, pressuring them help reduce anxiety and confusion about what's happening to them. Spend time with them. Make an effort to routine together, even if it's just watching a movie or having a meal. This quality time strengthens your connection and keep the lines of communication open, showing them they are priority in your life. Support them in their activities at home and school. Share interest in their hobbies, sport, and schoolwork. Attend the game or performance. Help with homework. We need acknowledge their effort and achievement. This show you care about what is important. Respect them. Treat their adolescents as a person with valid thought and feeling. Respect their privacy. Like knocking before entering their room. Listen to their opinion even if you disagree and give them a degree of independence. Be honest with them. Trust is crucial. Be truthful with them, even about difficult topics. If you make a mistake, admit it. Honesty from you encourage honesty from them and build a foundation of mutual trust. Talk to them. This is just about being serious talk. It's about everyday conversation. Ask about their day, their friend, and what they interested in. Regular casual communication make it easier for them to come to you when they have a bigger problem. Listen to them without judgment. Create a safe space where they can share anything without fear of being immediately criticized. yielded after perspective first. When they fail, heard are not judged, they are more likely to continue in the future.
Good day everyone. Today I'm explaining factors that makes family resilient. So first one is positive outlook. Positive outlooks having a hopeful and optimistic attitude even tough times. So when families stay positive, they can handle problems better and find creative solutions and then struggles into struggles mix into opportunities for growth. So second one is spiritual values. So spiritual values is most commonly used of each one of us. For example, praying each other. So praying each other is most powerful do if one of us that makes us calmer and more at peace, especially reducing stress. So third one is open and supportive communication. So this one is also very important of each of one of us, of each families, because communication helps families member understand each other and work together to cope with challenges. So communication can help understand, like example, when the families have a financial struggle, they can talk about it and work together to solve this struggle. So fourth one is adaptability. Families that can adapt to changes and crises are better in handling difficult situations. So if a parents both lose jobs and they have struggles they have financial struggles, they gonna find a creative way to manage and support their childrens without panicking. So they just gonna find some new jobs or like side hustle without panicking. So that makes them also positive vibes. So the last one is informal social support, though. So this one is also same as spiritual values. So spiritual values talks about some faithful and beliefs, like something religious, like prayers. So the last one is informal social support, which is, if your friends or like family members having a tough times, you can support him or giving him advice or make a comfort, which is commonly do in each family members if they have problems. So thank you for listening of my explanations. I hope you understand.
Thank you for listening. I hope you understand anything from what we discussed.